Hello, and welcome to I Choose You, the podcast about cooking and eating Pokemon. My name is Jeremy Zielik. I'm the host and Alton Brown of the group, and joining me this week, as always, is...
Ben Montoya, the friend of the show.
Oh, man, struggling with that one.
Add that to the crack face wall.
Yeah, that was aggressive.
I'm Ian Davis, the Adolphus Williamson Green of the show.
And quite possibly with the coldest drink I've ever cracked in my life. It's Evan
shit.
Aubrey.
Whoa.
Oh,
Now,
fuck.
we've mostly cracked our drinks. Welcome to LaCroix Boys, the podcast inside a podcast where we talk about cracking and drinking a cold one. Evan, it appears you have a large liquid death.
Not only liquid death, a mango chainsaw liquid death.
Oh,
So not just water.
All right.
Yes.
No,
And
it
what
tasty?
does... Yes.
it's delicious. It does, in fact, murder my thirst.
Oh, all right. Well, watch out there, everyone.
Yeah.
Also, what a golden can. Like,
Yeah.
Ooh.
They
bet some-
really have done like the best marketing I've ever seen to get people that don't want to drink alcohol to drink just water.
Right. Yeah.
I've heard that like the distinction between millennial and Gen Z is that millennials drink LaCroix, but Gen Zs drink liquid death.
That makes
Really?
sense then, because I'm right on the bubble, I guess.
Yes. I mean, we're all on the bubble, the Gen Z millennial bubble, so much so that I don't know if we could fit squarely into one or the other kind of
Generation fluid, honestly.
situation. Oh, yeah, maybe like our LaCroix.
Oh,
I didn't really think about it, but yeah, there is sort of like a generational aspect to different sparkling waters. I feel like Topo Chico is a little more like maybe I don't know how long has Topo Chico been around? I feel like just their marketing makes me think that it's been around for a long time.
I feel like all of them have been around for a long time, and like people are just starting to discover them.
Well,
But it's also
okay.
like it's a generational, and then it's a seasonal thing. Like I'm not touching Topo Chico outside of summertime.
I won't.
Get outta here.
You can't see Evan touching this stuff.
No,
Yes.
not with a 10-foot pole.
Well, I will say that in the last 10 years, there has definitely been an increase in exposure of sparkling waters after the first LaCroix explosion of like 2015 or so, where people were like, I didn't really like, I like knew that they existed, but it was like kind of like only like Perriers and stuff that I was familiar with kind of situation. And then mid 2010s, my mom buys a case of LaCroix and it's like, let's try this. And then I fucking see it everywhere. It's at school, it's at work, it's at, general like business functions. And then after that, everyone's like, fuck, we need a LaCroix. And then everyone's like fucking in on the sparkling water.
I like to imagine the
Perrier
LaCroix.
is definitely like
Yeah.
Generation X, I think. Perrier
Yes.
is like, if we're going to start making some like generational assumptions here, that Perrier is a very Gen X sparkling water for me.
Yeah.
Not a
this is
boomer?
Nirvana. Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. Is it? I guess it has been that old, right? Like it's probably turn of the century, maybe. That and San Pellegrino,
Yeah.
probably.
Do you guys feel that like maybe the sparkling water explosion in the United States is really
Renaissance?
like Renaissance? Thank you.
Yes.
Do you think that that's like Europe, like secretly like you know what I mean?
It's like
It's their soft
European
cultural
AstroTurf.
power.
yeah.
Some weird like Dutch people are like, oh, we will convince these dirty Americans to drink our sparkling water. That's more for French. Maybe
very
Belgium.
French-sounding Dutch people.
I've been listening to an audiobook of Poirot Mysteries, and the guy doing the accent. I can't give you a good Belgian accent, but I'm sure he does a bad one, and it's very funny to me.
Nice.
But yeah, maybe. But here's the thing: is I feel like over the last 10 years, Europe's like cultural power has diminished in comparison to like, let's say, East Asia, at least in America. So I don't know how popular sparkling waters are in that part of the world. Maybe quite popular. I haven't been
But
there.
that's what I'm saying, Jeremy. Maybe Europe is still fucking on top, and we just don't know it.
They just haven't even unveiled their latest and greatest.
Like
Yes.
when you guys just went to Spain.
Yes.
Do they do the like bullshit everything sparkling unless noted otherwise?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
order water at a restaurant, it's con gas, which
So-
means it's carbonated. And you
Yeah,
have to
so-
ask it for sin gas if you don't want any carbonation in it.
And
Right.
did you guys go for the syngas, or were you congas the whole time?
I had gotta go with the congas.
That's what I'm saying. So like, I wonder if we like surveyed European restaurants, if like the number of American tourists that are now accepting of the congas is higher, and maybe this was their plan all along, because they were just like, the service industry in Europe was just like, fuck these Americans, we have to like suck all the gas out of the water before we give it to them.
Yeah, maybe it comes out of the tap sparkling and they have to distill it.
Yes,
Mhm.
that's what they don't
Like-
tell you about Europe.
They take off their shoes and they have to flatten out the water before they serve it. Crushing grapes.
Again, this is one of those things where a bottle of congas still costs more than a glass of wine, at least in Spain. So they're really trying to like, you're not expected to get water. You're expected to get alcohol kind of situation at a restaurant. So it's always this it's this fine balance kind of situation. Though they do use the sparkling water in mixed drinks. Ben, which drink did you have that caused you so much consternation while cracking?
Well, I'll get to that in a second. I just want to, we do have the power of the internet on this show, so I did want to phone a friend on this sparkling water history lesson that we were speculating about. San Pellegrino first introduced 123 years ago,
Nice.
1899.
Nice.
And Topo Chico, 1895, older. So,
Ooh,
There you
1895. That's way older than I was expecting. I was like thinking like the 50s or something, but
in Monterrey, Mexico.
ooh, there you go. Makes sense.
So there you go. There's just a little sparkling water nugget for you to chew on. I'm drinking a beer called Beer Folk Unite from Society.
This is a society.
It is. It's filled
society.
with like Flintstone beer people.
Ben, whenever you tell us like whatever craft beer you've gotten from the Southern California region of the United States, it always feels like a weird prank that you're pulling on us when you tell the name. It's always like, hop along with us down the merry rabbit hole, and it's got like a picture of a
Hey.
Easter bunny smoking a joint, like wearing a Superman cape kind of situation.
I would buy that.
Sounds like a good can.
Yeah, Ian, what do you have got this week?
Take a wild fucking guess.
Oh, is it a limoncello LaCroix?
Yeah, it is, because otherwise the show would be called like Beer Folk Supernova Cocksucker 3000 Boys.
All right.
Wow.
Fair.
We can't deny it.
When is LaCroix? So they have their seasonal like spring and summertime flavors. When are they coming out with like eggnog LaCroix or
Oh,
like
fuck yeah.
gingerbread LaCroix,
Again, we talked
pumpkin
about this
spice
a lot.
LaCroix?
Maybe pumpkin spice.
This could
but
be
I
the
feel
year.
like savory sparkling water flavors kind of seem like a no-go. We talked about this last
Fruit
week.
cake
We
LaCroix.
understand that you feel that way, Jeremy, but the rest of us want a new beverage, okay?
It's true.
Yeah.
We're tired of the same old beverage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Knocking down Mr. LaCroix's door, demanding a pumpkin spice LaCroix. You could still call it PSL, pumpkin spice LaCroix. So there it is.
True.
I've got a new drink this week. It's called Adobe Igloo from the Santa Fe
yes.
Brewing Company,
Ooh, yeah, that
One of my
one's nice.
faves.
and it's their winter spice beer, which I have not had before, surprisingly, since I drink many of their different delightful drinks. Ben's looking very consternated at me right now.
I'm just saying, talk about a can with a great design. It's got like this really
Oh,
cool,
yeah.
black and white pottery style, thing going on with,
It
but
looks
also
great.
it's kind of like a Christmas sweater. It's like
Mhm.
kind of pixelated.
Yeah. Yes, Ian.
I went to LaCroix's website just to see if they had anything cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys had? They have a tall can LaCroix, Coffea Exotica,
No.
Mm.
Coffee
is-
flavored?
essence of Sumatra coffee and cola.
Whoa.
Okay, but the question is, does it have any caffeine in it?
Probably not. It's still
I think legally
innocent.
it can't. It's an
Yeah.
essence.
Then I have to level with the LaCroix. Well, but here's the thing. Is that I've noticed that a lot of sparkling waters have started doing like caffeinated spin-offs.
Oh,
where,
yeah.
like you can get booblies, but then you can get caffeinated booblies kind of situation. And
This-
I feel like LaCroix could do that if they wanted to.
They
It
could,
does. It does say intoxicates with a rich and smoothly elegant coffee essence. So it does fuck you up.
Knock you off your ass.
That sounds illegal.
Knock you off your ass.
LaCroix should just make Four Loko again. Like, we're too busy waiting for like the Four Loko people to do it, but no one's expecting that from LaCroix. So just mix energy drinks and alcohol together once again.
When are we? They dedicated a tab on their website to Live LaCroix.
And
it's just photos of people enjoying LaCroix.
Are you sure it's not live LaCroix?
No, because I thought that's how I read it the first time, but there's nothing live about this.
No live stream.
Yeah. But like, God, LaCroix, if you're listening to this, you're fucking up. Okay,
you are really fucking up right now if you are listening to this.
It's got one like social media intern like going through every mention of the word LaCroix in podcasts.
I'm just saying, like, look, these photos are bullshit. Like, oh, great. Oh, you're drinking a LaCroix. Oh, you're pouring a LaCroix into your dog's mouth. Good job.
What?
Try running a podcast for 4 years, huh?
Yeah, based on LaCroix. Oh, you bought 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 boxes? Eat my asshole, okay? That's a daily consumption for me. God damn it. It's casuals.
Filthy casuals.
There's 8 cans of LaCroix in a box, so 15 boxes would be 120 cans of LaCroix a day. Let's see if we can maintain that.
Wow. 10 an hour?
Yes.
Or for 12 hours, I guess.
You just shotgun. Go down quick.
Yeah.
Nothing smoother than a shotgun LaCroix. All right. Well, that was quite the in-depth conversation on this week's LaCroix Boys. But let us move on to the main meat of the show, the entree, if you will. This is I Choose You, the podcast about cooking and eating Pokemon. Each week on I Choose You, we randomly select a new Pokemon to cook and consume, and we share the best recipes to reach that conclusion amongst ourselves. And then we vote very democratically to decide who is the smartest and prettiest of all the recipes. This week's Pokemon is Malamar. It's a squid that's upside down because you turn your Nintendo DS upside down to evolve it, which I always thought was fun. Yes, Ian?
When I was looking at him, I was like, wow, upside down squid really looks like a bird.
I was thinking the same thing at first.
So I Googled upside down squid to see if like that holds true in our world. Does not.
It does not.
All upside down squids do not equal birds.
Yeah. I thought we were really onto something.
I don't think normal squids have legs on their heads like Malamar does.
Yeah, so, he's got tentacles.
You know what was strange though is that in the Bulbapedia page when it talks about the trivia section, I think it says something about how it's like the fact that it's upside down has to do with the fact that squids are commonly illustrated upside down in pictorial books, which this is not a shared or big enough reference for me to get in
Are
terms
they?
of. Yeah, exactly. I started to think like, has every picture I've seen of a squid been of it like upside down, or have I just been lying to myself?
Well, also I feel like I see pictures of squid where they're like it's like a landscape where it's like horizontal, and I imagine if you turn that upside down, it's not much different the other way around.
Right.
Every picture you've ever seen.
Yes.
Well, because they lead with the pointy bit, right?
I think so.
And if every squid is usually illustrated with pointy bit on top, excluding the horizontal ones, then maybe that's upside down.
Well, it depends where they're going. Like it's like the fucking like there's no north in space kind of situation.
There's no up
just
or
sent
down
us a picture of a squid.
Not a bird.
No, it is a squid.
It's not a bird, definitely.
But when you're like in 3-dimensional space, and you can move in each direction, like obviously, then I feel like upside down doesn't matter because you might be going up and down in elevation relative to the Earth, but you can still go that way and just be the right way kind of situation. Yeah. So I don't know
what is
Pokemon
upside down to the squid.
It's like the Stranger Things upside down.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, that'd be like if the Stranger Things Upside Down was exactly the same and it was no different whatsoever.
Did anyone do a Stranger Things recipe? I'm kind of now I kind of wish someone did.
No,
Unfortunately,
sorry.
no. But there's still time to pivot, Ben.
Yeah, well, there's still time to pivot. There's still, Ian. I think that a lot of times you see in, especially in Japanese media, that they relate squids to birds because they have beaks. But I never think beak is not like the first thing that I think of when I think of a squid, even though it's the only chitinous part of their body that's tough. Yes, what did you say?
What's the very first thing you think of?
Tentacles.
Squid, go.
Tentacles.
Interesting.
What do you
I feel like that
interesting?
belongs
What
to
do
the
you
octopus. I guess they have beaks too.
I mean, they do have beaks, yeah.
Yeah.
And I know like that's kind of like with cats, how like they can fit like through any space as long as it's bigger than their head. That's like the defining thing, the beak for the.
Yeah. A cat can fit in any space that's larger than its whiskers, which is one of the reasons they have whiskers.
Oh,
So it's a fun fact for you. But yes, I believe octopuses can fit in any place that their beak can get through because it's the only hard part of their body, and they can squish around everything else. Yeah, there you go. You got any more hot squid facts for us, Ian?
No.
All right, let's move to your recipe. Ian, tell us who you are. What are you cooking? What's going on?
Glad you asked. I'm Adolphus Green, co-founder of the National Biscuit Company. Which
is that also known as Nabisco?
You're goddamn right. Which I really wish it was still the National Biscuit Company. That's such a cooler name than
That is
Nabisco.
a great company name.
Been around for 124 years. So think about that. 1 year
sparkling
more.
water, biscuits, hand in hand.
122 years ago, you could have had your National Biscuit Company biscuits and your San Pellegrino sparkling water and had a great meal for the day.
Yes.
And everyone would think they'd be like, wow, you're on the bleeding edge of food.
Is the National Biscuit, not Bisnick, Company British?
Let me consult the archives here. Adolphus Green was American.
No. Geez. I guess in the 19th century, we were more inclined to agree to call cookies biscuits, like the Brits.
Or maybe they just made real biscuits.
Like American biscuits.
Like canned biscuits or something. I don't know.
Well, you're the founder of this company. Why don't you tell us?
Listen, I'm just an American attorney and businessman. Born in Massachusetts. He was a principal of a high school before he got into the law. Even back then.
Before he got into the law.
Even back then.
Specialize in biscuit law.
Let's see. Moved to Chicago, became a lawyer, co-founded the Biscuit Co. By merging 40 bakeries across the Midwest.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. It's like the rubber
Ian,
bear.
are you going to
biscuits.
merge 40 bakeries to make your recipe?
Kind of, because what I brought for you this week is a delight that I grew up with, and maybe you guys did, but maybe not. The Malamar cookie.
Oh.
Are you familiar?
Like Milano?
Oh no! All right, let me educate you guys here. Let me.
Please.
Right, I'm gonna drop a link for the listeners at home. Malamars are a marshmallow-based cookie.
I see. Yes,
okay.
I'm familiar with these.
Graham cracker bottom, marshmallow on top, and then you dip that fucker in chocolate. And I suspected it's possible that I'm the only one here who knew about it because East Coast delight.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
really curious to see how you go from squid to marshmallow cookie.
Me too.
Me too.
It has the same name.
Think about it. I'd like to read for you this NPR article I found just to make sure you guys understand how important this cookie is.
Educate me.
Okay.
Malamars, the cookie everyone likes to hoard. Malamars turned 100 years old this month. This was written in November of 2013.
All right.
Over the years, the chocolatey marshmallow treat has gathered a cult-like following. For those who have yet to discover Malamars, take heed. You may soon have a new addiction.
Ooh.
And you see, Malamars have a season. They're a seasonal cookie. Goes from about September to March.
It's a winter cookie.
Yeah, it dates back to the olden days where 1913 Nabisco, they'd only do it through that season because it was cool enough that they could ship out the cookies and it wouldn't melt the chocolate.
Oh, interesting.
That makes sense.
And they've kept that going like since then, even though we have technology.
Oh, you can still buy these.
Yes.
Oh yeah, my mom sent me 2 boxes in the mail just a few months ago.
Oh, I want a box in
Really?
the mail.
Yeah.
Whoa.
They're legit.
Wow.
Yeah, they're fantastic. So, in spring and summer, the only place to find Malamars is in someone's freezer, probably in the Northeast, where 95% of Malamars are sold. And I guess for their 100th anniversary, they had Mallow Memories on Facebook, where you could like post pictures of your memories.
I've saved this box of Malamars since 1962.
Yes.
Lots of
Not
stories.
saying well.
One man wrote, "I just hide in the closet and eat them."
Oh God. Is that all he does?
What a story.
There are memories of mother buying 2 boxes at a time, one for the family and one for her secret stash.
I like. Is that sentence from the article?
Yeah.
I like that. Whoever said that said mother. It's like, oh, mother's buying the Malamars again. just sounds like the guy from Psycho when he's talking about his mother.
Check
I
this
also
out.
like that when you were saying that sentence, it almost said like you were going to say one for her family, one for her secret lover.
Yeah.
Which
Yes.
I'll just write in. That's my little headcanon for this
Yeah.
NPR story. That's what she really meant, was that she had a secret stash of Malamars for her lover.
Hold on. Lady Malamar's lover.
Oh.
Tony Soprano scares the cookies out of Polly by threatening him for stealing his box of Malamars.
Hey.
Well,
All right.
I've seen The Sopranos, and according to our listeners, our show is better than The Sopranos.
Wow.
And I don't remember. I remember that happening, but I did not remember that they were Malamars specifically.
So, important cookie. I grew up with them. It was always like a treat when you like saw them on the shelves. And how you're wondering like how the fuck do I work in this cookie named Squid? You take them, you gelatinize them.
There it is.
Yeah, and you use that to make the marshmallow.
Nice.
I mean, arguably better than horse hooves, maybe.
Yeah, I looked up squid gelatin just to see if that like was a thing, and I get the sense that it's used more for like, I don't know. It had a lot of science mumbo jumbo. I don't have a fucking chemistry degree. It seems like it has some like amino acids or essential oils, some shit in there.
Do I want that in my marshmallow?
Do you want nutrition in your marshmallow then?
Ian, do you go to the store and you're like, damn, I'm going to get all of my amino acids and essential oils from these s'mores I'm making?
These Malomars.
Yes.
Yep. So, take your Malamar, the bird squid, and press them out, extract the gelatin, as we all know how to do already. I don't have to go into it.
So it's filled with gelatin.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, how do you get gelatin from a normal animal?
You like boil it down.
Yeah,
Like
so
reduce it. Yeah.
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
So reduce the Malamar over medium heat.
I thought you were going to say you just like get it and like squeeze it like a pastry tube and Jello comes out.
Ooh.
I did think about that, but then in my head, the words of Jeremy saying, "You can't just make the animal the food."
Oh, you didn't use
What a
the
cop-out.
Pokemon.
Yeah, so that rang out in my head, and I was like, Jeremy.
I'm like in a thought bubble above you, and I'm like angrily shaking my fist at you from above.
Yeah, you're like a little tiny anime character with like a huge head and a tiny body, and like you.
I stop my glasses and I'm like this, and then they go up, and you can't see my eyes.
Exactly. Whatever. Get the gelatin from them. You mix that with your sugar. You whip the shit out of it. Bada bing, bada boom. You got fresh marshmallow. Get a nice little graham cracker. Round. These are round based. They're dome. They're like geometric dome cookies.
Is it okay if I do this with a square graham cracker at home because they're easy to get?
Absolutely not.
Nope. You got to cut
Shave
it
the edges
into a
off.
circle yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sand
some
it down.
sandpaper and
Yes.
curve it.
Yeah, get your grinder. Have you seen
My
that
edge
YouTube channel
grinder.
where a dude like he like prepares food but with like his like woodworking tools in his garage? Like
Yeah.
he's like cutting a loaf of bread with like a
Table saw.
table saw. Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's awesome.
Brown graham cracker, dollop some of the marshmallow on there, dunk that fucker in chocolate. Eat them frozen.
Alright.
They're really good frozen.
What kind of chocolate you going for? Milk chocolate, dark chocolate, maybe a chocolate with a little like zhuzh in it kind of situation.
Don't usually go for judge in my food
In my Nabisco products.
products, but the original Malamar milk chocolate. I'm not a big milk chocolate fan, but I gotta say, like, the cookie's already pretty decadent. I think dark chocolate is like kind of violent against like the soft nature of the marshmallow. So rare occurrence. I am gonna go for the milk chocolate
Okay.
on this one.
That does sound
Maybe
good.
if you want to judge it, maybe I don't know. Put it's almost Christmas time. Put a little bit of peppermint shavings on there.
Ooh,
Oh.
yeah.
Nice.
Ooh, yeah. That sounds good. Wow.
So Malamar.
And when you're making this, are you listening to Paul McCartney simply having a wonderful Christmas time?
No, I'm listening to Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings, Big Bulbs. You got them big bulbs.
Oh, yes. Ian Davis classic. Christmas classic.
That sounds delicious.
Excellent. That
And
does
very
sound
festive.
good. Though, squid jelly is obviously, I'm not dissing your recipe, but I don't know. Squid jelly. Would squid jelly be good in a sweet treat? I don't know. We'll see.
Gelatin.
If you add enough sugar to it, it's probably fine.
Listeners, take note that this is like if you go through every episode of this show, Jeremy, just like the CIA, like subverts each of our recipes, like rigs the voting, like tries to overthrow the democracy of this show, just like we have done to every South American country.
Jesus.
I will also
Wow.
say there's a slight delay in our internet this week that's causing a little bit of hiccups. I'm apologizing for that now. But yes, gelatin is made out of horse hooves anyway, which is kind of gross. So you can put anything you want in it to make it nice and a sweet treat. Speaking of a sweet treat, Ben, what's your recipe this week?
My recipe this week is not a sweet treat, so better luck next time, Jeremy. But I am going to. I think the thing that I thought at first was just calamari, and if someone else had that recipe, now is your time to maybe go do that.
Make your piece.
Not quite.
Going
I
once,
did-
going twice, going three times. Okay.
Not my recipe this week.
Okay, well, so I was thinking of calamari, but
Mhm.
I didn't go calamari. Instead, I went I'm going to make a coastal Mexican meal amar for you all, which is some Malamar ceviche.
Oh, fuck yes.
Nice.
So ceviche is just like super refreshing, very like you're on the beach or like on the coast. There's like it's not really like it seems like a summertime type of meal, so it doesn't really fit the real-time recording of this episode, but I feel like it kind of fit the vibe of Malamar pretty well. And in Spanish, mar is the sea. So I feel like we can have a meal of the sea here with this ceviche, as it were.
Ooh.
Ben, do you think that the fine people at the Pokemon Company knew that when they were naming Malamar? Because I believe in French, mer is the sea, M-E-R. So it's kind of close enough kind of situation.
I think they knew exactly what they were doing. They knew that we would record this episode eventually.
Oh, there you go. And I went on Bulbapedia, and my thing has been proven correct. It's a combination of mal, Latin for bad, and calamari, and mare, Latin for the sea. So there you go.
So bad
well-
calamari.
Yes.
Well,
So
sorry. Ben.
interesting that you bring up the bad part of this Pokemon's naming convention, because I don't know if anyone else saw in the Bulbapedia page, but it there's a section here Here, okay, I'll just start you over here. Malamar possesses strong hypnotic powers, which is said to be the most powerful of any Pokemon.
Shit.
Malamar uses its hypnotic power to force others to do its bidding, much like a vampire.
Right.
People often utilize this ability for nefarious deeds, as people are wont to do. Am I right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Malamar's hypnotic powers are said to have played a role in several history-changing events. And then it moves on, and doesn't touch on any of that, moving forward. But apparently, the postmodern nation states that we understand today are a function of Malamar being abused for the sake of the powerful, it seems.
Well, as you know, Malamar was responsible for the JFK assassination.
Yes.
Right.
Malamar can't melt steel dreams.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So are you saying there's some sort of like Pokemon Alex Jones, and he's like, they're Malamar people all the way to the top. Oh, they're turning they're turning the Froakies gay with their Malamars kind of situation.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of seems that way. I don't know. It's I don't know much about like the Minions of universe, right? But isn't it canonical that the Minions have been like part of every historical evil doing up until World War II, which we don't want to get into that territory.
Yeah, so
and neither did the Minions writers, but I feel like a similar thing is going on with Malamar, where like the Pokemon company is ready to pin any historical tragedy on this bad squid.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at photographs really closely, you can see a Malamar throwing the grenade into Archduke Ferdinand's.
Jesus.
I do love that fact about the Minions movie. It's like, for some reason, they decided to write that the Minions always serve the evilest person on Earth. And so throughout history, you get funny jokes like, oh, there they are with like Genghis Khan and Napoleon. And then they're like, oops, they go in a cave for 30 years during the 19-teens and 1940s.
Started World War II.
Yes. And they pop out in the 60s, and then they work for like random spies and not like you don't have to worry about.
Oh, you mean
Stalin.
Communists?
Yes. But they don't have to worry about like Stalin or various other dictators. They just go to like fun-loving Steve Carell characters kind of situation.
It's like what's that book that Hitler wrote? Mein Kampf.
Oh no! I'm so sad that this is where this ended up.
Look, blame the Minion writers for making this their problem that they.
I mean, it's true. It's true. They did this to themselves.
One last pun. One bad Malamar Jamma.
Oh, like Mama Jamma. Okay. Okay. That's kind of similar to Ian's.
Hey, remember the first time when Ian pronounced that word on this show and we roasted him for like a month after that?
You know what? I stand by it.
Mama Jama.
It's like aunt or aunt. I don't know.
Potato.
Yeah, I've heard it both ways.
Okay. Anyway, my Malamar ceviche, for all of you, is going to be fairly simple, but it's basically like usually they'll do like a marinated fish or something in the ceviche. In this situation, we're going to do sort of like subbing octopus tentacles with our Malamar tentacles.
Nice.
So you're going to go ahead and put those, you're going to just like snip the little like tentacles off of your Malamar. You're going to put it aside to like in a bowl after it's been kind of sliced up. And then you are going to add some onion and salt and water and just like let that sit for a while so it kind of like marinates for about 10 minutes. And then you're going to cook it with some garlic. Put it off to the side. So like that's just kind of like initial prep stuff that you're going to do. Then you're going to get your shrimp prepped and cook that for about 5 minutes after cleaning it, deveining it, all the normal shrimp stuff. Hell, Clauncher. We're on this program. So you got your Clauncher, you got your Malamar tentacles, and they're prepared. And then to the tentacles, you're going to add remove the all the stuff that you just prepared, And then you're going to add them all into one big bowl. You're going to add some chopped onion, tomatoes, lime juice, jalapenos, salt, and then some water, and just let it sit in that for a while, for about 40 minutes. Then you're gonna drain it, and then add the octopus, shrimp, some pickled onions that you've prepared beforehand, orange juice, oil, cilantro, and then just mix it up. Then you serve it like on a little bowl to share, and then you serve it with some like tortilla chips or a tortilla, and it's just a really great seaside snack. Very fresh. I feel like the Malamar tentacles, you've properly like marinated it, so there's some good flavor, and it still has like that kind of slippery texture, but not like too slimy. And it's just a very nice meal of the sea.
Yeah, am I like sitting on the beach, got like a Malamar and my Malamar ceviche, like enjoying like living left coast kind of situation?
I'm kind of imagining more like Mexican vacation style. Like you're on the beach, you're on like full relaxation mode.
Under a palapa, just enjoying.
Oh yeah, there's a nice breeze. But the water is like warm if you want to jump in. It's very nice. Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Take me there.
Right. I want to go to there. All right. Evan, why don't you take me to your recipe?
I will, definitely. And I did come up with this in a post-boost haze as I was laying on the couch. So hopefully
post-boost.
So hopefully it comes across properly. So this week we're gonna make some. I was looking up some squid recipes. Obviously, there's calamari, but I was very taken by this one Japanese style simmered squid and there's an accompanying Pokemon this week. So we're gonna introduce a little bit of Wiglet because so there's this thing that I just learned about recently called new potatoes. I don't know if you've heard of new potatoes.
Tell me about it.
Okay.
So it's basically they're basically like not any more special than a regular potato, but it's like premature, not premature, but like baby potato before it's like fully ripe. So it's a lot sweeter. It's a lot like juicier.
Okay.
So they call those new potatoes apparently.
Well, hold up. You get a potato and you're like, ooh, juicy.
Well, it does, like they do have a certain amount of water content. So just like more so.
I know they do, but that's not what I think of when I pick up a potato. Those just look like potatoes.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so it's they're like fingerlings, but
I mean, I guess I can understand it as like new. New is a synonym for young, and that makes sense. These look like young potatoes. I wouldn't call them new necessarily, but it's not incorrect.
You can think like new American food, right? Yes. Like that's kind of where it came from.
Here's what I would do. As they're new because they're like they're not very old, right? The potatoes, and they're like fingerlings. So I would call them younglings, and then every time I pull them, I would say, "Time to execute Order 66." Cut up the potatoes that I'm making.
That's the number at my restaurant. It's just order number 66. Yes.
The younglings.
And so that's part of the side of it, but we're also going to be this is going into like a nice broth and everything. So what you're going to do is you're going to make some dashi. You're going to soak some seaweed in water and everything like that, and you're going to add basically peel all of those new potatoes and cut them up into nice like little bite-sized pieces, and then you're going to place the Malamar along your cutting board and get those nice like squid rings that we all know and love. And then those and it says be careful not to break the inner organ sac or the ink sac, because that just ruins your squid, right?
Yeah.
So you gotta rinse that all off, and then you're gonna cut that into rings, and then you're gonna cut the white part, like the base of a leek, and you're gonna use that also in your potato squid kind of soup going here. And you just combine all those things together and simmer them for a little while, and then wait till most of the broth is like halfway gone, so it's very concentrated and delicious. And there you go.
Wow.
I feel like squid meat in general, like it's interesting that we, think of it as like a fried thing, but I feel like it probably picks up flavor pretty decently, like in a situation like that.
Oh, totally. Seafood sponge.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will say, like in Spain, which I went to,
Did you?
You don't say.
You won't believe it, Ian. I was there for 2 weeks this year.
Holy shit.
They do eat a lot of cephalopods, mostly octopus, but you don't really get it fried. You just get like they hack off a tentacle and then they like grill it real quick.
Yep.
And then bada bing, bada boom. That's what you eat kind of situation.
I would feel so unprepared to try to like cook octopus/squid. Like I would feel very intimidated by trying to do any of that, and it seems like you have to be careful with the organs and whatnot.
Yeah, that would just ruin it. I feel kind of bad for eating. Well, I guess it's octopus more so than squid maybe, but like aren't octopus like super smart? I don't know about squid.
Mm.
They are.
Okay.
I was talking to someone in Spain about this, and they said that they actually don't advertise octopus as much at food markets because of that. Whereas, like, even though it's like a staple food item in Spanish cuisine, people are like, yeah, but they predict like World Cup championships.
I was gonna say, who else is gonna tell us who wins?
Yes. And we can't be eating those, but let me tell you, I did eat them, and you know it's pretty good.
I will say the problem with octopuses, because they're so smart, is that they can also be manipulated for nefarious purposes and mind control, much like Malamar. So, you know, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. I think we can, you know, we can make some ethical exceptions since the octopus have done so much against us.
Maybe it wants to be eaten.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
I
it's got a vor fetish.
I mean, it can camouflage itself very well. It can escape capture very well.
Yeah.
It can, you know, I don't know if it necessarily wants to.
Yeah. Well, Ben, I'm gonna move to my recipe now, but I want to thank you for something. Bringing up the Minions. You know who made the Minions? Illumination Animation. And you know what else they're making? The Mario movie. And before the show started, we said, "Oh, we're gonna talk about the new Mario movie." But I need to get your hot takes. Second trailer for the Mario movie. How we feeling about the Super Mario Brothers movie starring Chris Pratt?
Dog shit.
Okay.
Yeah, low expectations. The saddest "It's a Me" I've ever heard.
The only reason, because you'll recall before the show, I was gonna say something right before we started, and you were like, "Wait, save it." Did not need to be like, I didn't need to like drag my bud Tyler through the hot coals live on air. But he messages our D&D group a couple of days ago, and he's like, "Whoa, did you know that they're making a D&D movie?" And I had to be like, where have you been living? And then today I was on the phone with him. He's like, "Yeah," and then I found out they're making a Mario movie too.
Oh no.
No.
And I'm like,
Get with it.
He's like, it looks like it's gonna be so cool.
Oh no.
Does this person not have a phone?
No.
Well, they don't have a notification set to movie, so
Oh yeah.
every time it's mentioned. Here's the thing: is look, I don't begrudge anyone's excitement for the Mario movie, and no matter how I feel about it, I'm going to see it opening night because of who I am. But I will say this: even if it's good and I like it and I think it's funny or what have you, I do not think in any conceivable world it will be cool. It will.
I don't know, Jeremy. I don't know.
It's going to be. It's very silly. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
What would make it cool?
If Bowser and Luigi actually did fuck, like everyone on the internet wants.
Right.
On screen,
That
or
would
could it
be
just be
kinda cool.
implied?
On
Right.
screen.
I want it to
So
be
he
like
rips out his mustache hair and then he just bends him over. And...
I mean, that's what the people on the internet want. That's what would make it cool.
Yes.
Ian,
It's
pulls
been
the mustache closer and closer until they kiss.
Yes. Ian, it's the Mario movie's been trending on Tumblr all week simply because of the sexual tension between Bowser and Luigi. So,
Yeah.
Who's voicing Luigi again?
Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny.
Mm.
Him and Jack Black would fuck.
They got
Honestly-
good chemistry. Yeah.
Honestly, Charlie Day would have made a better Mario.
Yeah. I mean, he's actually Italian. There's that.
Evan,
Yeah.
I would have made a better Mario.
That's very fair. Chris Pratt's a low bar to set.
Yeah.
I saw something that was kind of like talking about, I forget what actor was I think it might have been Charlie Day, was discussing like the voice acting that they did for it, and apparently they had them do it like isolated some of the scenes, like isolated from the other characters and whatnot, with different they didn't want to like spoil the plot or have the plot of the Mario movie leak, so they were trying to like, so they have the voice actors like doing it in a vacuum essentially. And a lot of people are saying it's probably not a good idea, but I also just think it's funny that they don't want the plot to leak of Mario. Like,
Yeah.
Man, I wish I like felt so like strongly that I was good at what I did that I would say, oh, I know that Keegan Key is gonna fucking leak the final scene of my movie, the Mario movie. Can't possibly like let them like I send them the script, whole fucking thing's redacted except for their lines.
Yeah.
I do want to say, Ian, the Mario movie has one thing, and that thing is Funky Kong, which is, as always, your Skype background.
Right.
He is in the film. How does that make you feel?
Definitely going to be the Aquaman of the movie.
Okay, wait. Jason Momoa.
I mean, that'd be funny.
And he's just like, my man, and he cracks a cold one.
Yes.
So so wait, what if Funky Kong cracks a LaCroix in the Mario movie? Will you do a full 180 on whether or not you like this movie?
I'll jerk off to the film.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Nice. Cool. That's
I was
good
gonna
to
say, like, you're in the theater and you like start dabbing when that happens.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he cracks open a LaCroix. I assume I'm gonna see this with Jeremy. Jeremy, I will walk down to the very front of the theater and I will just start dabbing in front of the screen until they track me out.
All right. Well, we'll definitely see if that happens. Kind
Mark
of
your
situation. Yeah. Did this movie come out April 23rd or something?
Not 20th?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ian. Well, it comes out on a Friday, so there's no other way around that.
I need to change the calendars for this spectacular.
I mean, it comes out. It comes out on Good Friday. I read, because obviously Mario's a good Catholic. April 7th. There you go.
Okay.
They could have released it on March 10th.
Yeah, that is Mario Day.
We've discussed this before. They fucked up.
I'll discuss it again.
Yeah, I mean, they should have done what they originally were planning, was release it this Christmas, and because fucking like the only thing that could stop Big Jim in Avatar is Mario.
Big Jim.
Give me a crossover right now. But I want it to be the style of like Fairly Odd Parents and Jimmy Neutron, where they borrow each other's animation styles.
Yes. Okay. So Jake Sully and Neytiri, they look like Mario and Princess Peach, and then all the Mario characters are slenderly blue aliens that like have sex with their hair, kind of situation. I can see this. Maybe that they have sex with their mustaches. There you go.
Oh no!
It's all coming together.
There you go. That's something for Tumblr. There you go.
Yes.
They have like a Padawan braid, but it's their mustache, and they plug it into the Yoshi.
I wish I knew some sort of iconic line from Avatar to meld with some sort of iconic Mario-ism, but there is none, so I can't.
Well, just when Jake and Neytiri sex, they say, "Wow."
Bring up the Google results for most iconic lines from the Avatar movie, because I guarantee they won't land.
All right. All right. This is the number one I found. Sooner or later, though, you always have to wake up.
Oh, okay.
Let's nobody be dead today. Looks really bad on my report.
All right. Anything else? Is that it?
Sometimes life is like this tunnel. That's an actual quote. Oh wait, no, that's from The Last Airbender. Don't quote me.
Well, Mario could say sometimes life is like this tunnel when he's in a pipe or something if he wants to.
A secret tunnel.
Yeah.
Here's one for you.
Okay.
Kiss the darkest part of my lily white.
Does that not finish? Is that like what the bad guy says when he like gets like blown up? I don't remember. It's been 10 years since I've seen Avatar, the first one.
Jake says that. Whoever Jake is.
Oh, well, he's the main character. That's Jake Sully.
Whoever
the main character.
I see you.
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
You know what's funny is our podcast has slowly become an Avatar podcast over the last month.
We've talked about it a couple times now.
And it's not going to stop because in 2 weeks, me and Ian are going to fucking sit down and see Big Jim's masterpiece. And Big Jim's on the record. He said, when you watch this movie, you're going to shit a brick with your mouth wide open. That's an actual quote.
He also did say that, like, yeah, feel free to get up and use the bathroom because you're going to, like, go see it again and find the parts you missed.
Yes, he did say that. He says, don't worry if you need to pee. You're going to want to see it again anyway.
There are no quotable lines from that movie. Not a single one. Besides the, like, kiss my butthole one.
Right, yeah.
Nothing finer. Anyway, I wanted to bring up the Mario movie because I'm going to give you my recipe, and I'm just going to start with the title because it's very fun. It goes like this: Mamma Mia, Malamario's Squid Ink pasta.
Yes.
Yes.
There it is.
Let's fucking go.
Now, obviously, when I was in Spain, I did have squid ink rice, but not pasta. So this week we're going to do squid ink pasta. And the thing is, by adding squid ink to pasta, it makes it very, very rich and savory kind of situation. It makes it really dense. So you can't eat a lot of it at once because it's very heavy. But it's like it kind of what's so fucking funny, Ian?
I'm sorry. I don't even know if this is gonna land, but I looked up quotes for Avatar: The Way of Water.
Okay.
From the trailer.
Yes.
All right, Curie, Dad. I think you think I'm crazy, but I feel her. I hear her heartbeat. She's so close. Jake Sully. So what does her heartbeat sound like? Curie.
What?
Mighty.
All right.
It's just like it's literally every line of the trailer.
Okay. Well,
iconic.
Look, we'll do a special Avatar bonus episode after me and Ian see it in a few weeks.
Join our Patreon for your Avatar content.
Yes.
My question is, can our Avatar episode eclipse the runtime of Avatar: The Way of Water, 190 minutes?
Easy.
But well, Ben, based on our segments about it, I think we could. That's all I'm saying. Anyway,
we're a third of the way there right now.
Yes.
Oh God.
Anyway, Mamma Mia, Malamario's squid ink pasta. So you get your Malamar, and I'm gonna do the things. I'm gonna get its tentacles, and I'm gonna tube them out just all over the place. Get that squid ink, real Splatoon over here kind of situation. It's good to roll. And then what you're going to do is you're going to mix it up with your favorite homemade pasta recipe, roll it up, knead it out kind of situation, extrude it into the noodle shape that you want. We're going to go with kind of like a spaghetti kind of shape, a little thicker because of adding the squid ink kind of bolsters the structural integrity of our pasta noodle. And then we're gonna cook that up, and we're going to add to it some shrimp and some scallops. And we're going to add some pepper flakes, tomatoes, and then some lemon juice. And if you want to add a sauce, you can, but it's recommended not to because, again, the squid ink kind of provides that flavor in the noodle itself for this dish. And just going off like the rice I had in Spain, it's enough. It's because, again, it's a lot kind of situation, but it is very good. Yes, Ian.
Is squid ink pasta kind of like the Halloween Whopper of
pasta?
Yeah,
yes.
Pretty much, right?
I mean, it is. The noodles are black, like they're pitch black, and it is very. I guess novel is the right word because you're like, oh wow, that's not something I would anticipate. Like, kind of, you don't anticipate food to look the color it is. Or just to be so like pitch black in and of itself, because usually when you get a food item, it's kind of like balanced out by something, but it is just it's ink. Like it, and it's kind of like, and when you eat it, it kind of like stains like ink too. So whatever like food item is next to it is also just like turns black kind of situation, and like your teeth get black when you eat it. It's like all it's all that business. You do not want to get it on your clothing because it will stain it like an ink stain. It's pretty nuts.
This is a great callback. We had mustache pasta, if you remember, way back when.
We did.
So this is mustache pasta in a different form.
Yeah, it's just like the cover is like kind of like Mario and Luigi, like Chef Boyardee style, and they're like pulling on their mustaches, but they come out as like pasta noodles into like a bowl that they're serving to you.
And then Malamar's there too.
Yes.
Do you think Malamar is the one behind all the like Princess Peach kidnappings?
Oh shit!
Like hypnotizes
He's like mind
Bowser.
controlling Bowser.
Yeah. Well,
Hey.
I think. Well, as we've learned in the Mario universe, Bowser has only kidnapped Peach once, and then every other time is a reenactment of that happening with various variations of it. Because as we know, elsewhere Mario and Bowser are friends. They play sports together, and they have weekend activities that they join up on.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yes. So yeah, I bet Bowser one time he was like kind of mad, or he had like a hypnotist come in, kind of like a Rasputin situation, roasted his life.
So that just makes me think the Mario galaxies are basically like Westworld.
Oh, wait.
Westworld?
Like in the sense of like, in the real universe they're buddies and playing sports, but when they're in these galaxies they're role playing.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Yes. I think they're more like actors in the video games, or like their production.
That's fair. I don't think every Toad is a robot.
Yeah, that's what I was like. But Illumination, hire me. I can make every Toad a robot for you if you want. Just
make all the Toads robots.
Yes. All right. This episode is going long, so let's recap our recipes. From Ian Davis, excuse me. We have Malomars, the cookie. From Ben, we have Malamar Ceviche. Evan, what did yours have a funny name? It's like Japanese.
No funny name. It's just Japanese squid like stew, basically.
Okay, Japanese squid stew, and from me we have Mamma Mia Malamario's squid ink pasta. So everyone vote, and Ben, can you reveal who the winner Mon is?
Jeremy, currently I cannot reveal who the winner Mon is. Bum bum bum.
Is it because there's a tie?
It's because there's a two-way tie between you and me.
Oh shit!
Fight.
Oh, we're like Popeye and Bluto.
There is a squid in that movie.
There is.
We're just connecting all the dots to this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll put up a poll on Bad Choose You Twitter that you can vote on and decide who is more cool and sick. Yes.
Should we post the poll on Discord?
Like elsewhere?
I mean,
See who wins by the end of the episode?
well, here's the thing: is that you can vote on a poll on Twitter by just clicking on the link and voting on it. Even if I post the Twitter poll into our Discord, and then you can click on it.
You don't need an account?
No.
No.
You can go to you don't need an account to see individual tweets. You do need an account to like scroll through Twitter, but you can click on a singular tweet and look at it. And also, if it's embedded, you usually can interact with elements in it without going to twitter.com. But let me tell you guys, our Twitter's still pretty active. Like it's still got a lot of people talking about it on there. So there you go. Go to the Twitter poll. That's how I'm going to do it until Mr. Musk decides to destroy us, because he's out for us specifically.
That's true.
I mean, he would be.
Yes.
I do. On the topic of like famous people interacting with us, I was reflecting on like the new Pokemon game, which I hear is bad. Haven't picked it up.
Which we haven't actually discussed when we'll talk about it, but we will talk about it at some point.
One day.
Yes.
One day.
I want to know if they fixed it. Ben, have they fixed it?
No.
Okay. Well,
I will say it's still fun. It's
Okay.
it just looks bad.
It'll be a Christmas miracle.
yeah.
And see, I want to like, because I was thinking about like, man, why are they just pumping these games out one after? And I realized it's our fault, and I do apologize to the listeners because
Oh.
Nintendo of everywhere listens to our show, and they're like, "Oh shit, we gotta keep pumping out these generations to keep this show going."
Right.
We have
they
so many
know-
Pokemon that we haven't even
Right.
talked about, though.
They know
Yes.
that when we're done with the last generation, this show's off the air. Pull the plug.
Right.
Mm.
Right. I mean,
It's-
that is the one reaction that I always get when I tell someone about this show is they say, "Oh, well, when are you going to run out?" And it's a big problem for us. There's literally thousands. So, I see what you're saying. They need to, keep it going, keep it, for the sake of our show and
So-
our community.
On behalf of all at I Choose You Incorporated, we apologize for the quality of the most recent Pokemon game. We're personally responsible.
Look, all I know about the new Pokemon games is you can make a sandwich and eat it.
Just like
And
our-
you can feed it to your Pokemon.
Nice.
Oh,
You can make some great sandwiches too. Some
Can you make them
real
out of
kick-ass sandwiches.
oh yeah. Can you make them out of Pokemon?
Oh, did I tell you about my child interaction recently?
No.
Him eating Pokemon. Okay. I was doing a photo
fuck.
shoot for a friend's kid who's like 9. And I was wearing the classic I Choose You sweater, limited edition.
Mm.
Oh
Mhm.
yes.
And I was like chatting with him, and he looks at my sweater and he's like, "Is that a Pokeball?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Why is there a knife and fork next to it?" And I was like, "Well,
Mhm.
what do you like? Do you think they eat regular food in the Pokemon world, or do you think they eat Pokemon?" And he just stares off into space, and he's like, "Pokemon." And I was like, what's the number one you would want to eat? And what does it taste like?" And he said Raichu, and he did proclaim that it tastes like a mango.
Oh,
Ooh, I
I like that.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty fun. You can't
I
deny
like
it.
that our show just makes people have existential crises about what they eat in the Pokemon universe.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I will say one last thing, and we won't, we'll get into all this later once everyone has played the game. I don't want to spoil anything, but I did go to a shop, and they did have some food for purchase that you could buy, and it was a Pikachu lemon parfait type situation, very oddly similar, in fact, to the one that Jeremy described
Oh,
in the Pikachu episode,
sue him,
nary 3 years ago.
Mm.
sue the
So
pants off him.
Ah, man, we can fucking predict the future here. That's all I'm saying.
Podstradamus.
Ben, I prefer Nostropodmus.
Okay.
Well,
anyway.
Okay, we still have 2 fucking whole segments to go, and we're already an hour in. So let us move on. First to everyone's favorite section, Whale Lord's Mail Horde, where we read your emails sent into ichoosepod@gmail.com. That's ichewspod@gmail.com. We got a couple of emails here. Ian, you read this first email from Rexifer.
Howdy, Icy Boys. And greeting, Evan the Only.
Ooh.
Oh,
I decided to finally write in a recipe, since now I am an official ICP chef with my new apron. Nice.
nice.
Well, first of all,
Hey.
I just want to say ICP is Insane Clown Posse. Continue.
I see.
Oh. Probably, maybe a typo.
No,
I
not
don't
a
think
typo.
So that crossover audience between people who listen to this show and Juggalos is huge. It's a perfect circle.
Yes.
Yeah, that was in our Spotify Wrapped.
I mean, you say that, but you do remember that one of our episodes is half Insane Clown
It is
Posse.
literally
Sure.
like 90% us talking about ICP.
This week we have Malamar, or should I say Malamar.
Ooh.
Hmm.
But wait, there's more. The dish I offer unto you is a Malamar stuffed Yveltal stuffed in a Noivern with wings intact.
Ooh.
A Clucthulu seemed like the best option for this holiday season.
Nice.
All right. I see where the tentacles are coming in.
Yeah.
We all do. You'll want to separate all of the livers and hearts after deboning and gutting, and mince them and mix with oats, spices, and seasonings before you stuff them into the stomach of the Yveltal and sew it shut and boil. Yes, we're making a haggis, which is my favorite food.
Oh.
All right.
While that is boiling, we will begin with stuffing the Neuvern with the Yveltal, and then the Malamar inside of that. Make sure you rub them with seasonings and use cornbread stuffing between the layers of Mons. Now that the layers are in place, once the haggis is done cooking, stuff it into the Cthulhu immediately and bind it with twine to ensure the inside will heat up for even cooking throughout. Wrap it in aluminum foil and place it in a smoker for 4 to 6 hours at 250 to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Once the internal temperature reaches 165, you are free to slice into and enjoy this monstrosity that will surely bring your hunger to an end. Best served with a pamplemousse, LaCroix, praise lamp, Sever, Queen of Vesta.
All right.
All right.
I'm going to read the follow-up email that Rexifer said, and says, in addition to the Malamar recipe, use the ink sac and blood juice from the prep to make a gravy to pour over the Cthulhu and diglet mash, because we do things with the whole hog here, winky face.
You're goddamn right.
And we have an image that they sent in that we will post on social media for all to enjoy of the Cthulhu reference point for dinner.
Yeah. It looks pretty good.
Evan, can you read this email from Mike?
I can indeed. Mike says, hey boys, I don't know about you, but I did some Black Friday shopping. I went to a neat little mercantile near the new house where you would expect them to have a few things in stock, such as a bedroom set or bathroom accessories and the like. But what most people don't know is that this innocent-looking shoppy has a dark secret lurking past the beds and the baths. Of course, I'm talking about the Beyond.
Nice.
Oh,
Now that you're asking yourself, what more could an aspiring Poke Chef need? I decided 2022 was the year to treat myself. We bought a house, and that means it's time to upgrade everyone's favorite kitchen gadget, the stately kitchen mulcher. Anyway, Malamar is a pretty big squid. Fun fact, did you know the lifespan of a giant squid is only about 5 years?
What?
Obviously, everybody's thinking upside down recipes, and I'm no different. I thought to myself, though, what food items actually get flipped upside down as part of cooking or presentation process, and the first thing that came to mind, a DQ Blizzard.
nice.
So what we're going to do is make some squid ink ice cream, which seems to be, 1, a real thing, and 2, just vanilla ice cream with squid ink mixed in for a fishy and salty flavor.
Nice.
Sounds decadent?
I honestly wouldn't say no, actually.
I'd try it.
I feel like with the vanilla sweetness, it might do kind of like a caramel, kind of salty kind of thing. I don't know. I'm not
I
opposed
don't know
to
about
it.
the fishy flavor, though.
Yeah, it's, again, savory. We talked about this with Sova. Savory is always hard for desserts to pull off. And if they do it, I commend them. That's all I'm saying.
So what we're going to do, add in your mix-ins, which I don't know the different flavors of Blizzard because there aren't really Dairy Queens near me, but I assume there's a cookies and cream variety where you mix in Oreos or something.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, throw all of that into the blender. Top with gummy worms or something to make it look like it has arms and tentacles. Arms and tentacles. Once you do that, flip the bad boy upside down and blow some fucking minds with how it all stays in the cup. Ooh.
Hell yeah.
DQ Blizzard with squid ink Octoriopus ice cream.
Nice. Okay.
Nice.
Fun fact, squids have 2 tentacles and 8 arms because tentatively don't have tentacles the entire length, but arms do.
I did not know that.
Yep. Now you're probably wondering why I brought up my new kitchen mulcher. Well, that first recipe was more inspired by, but my actual immediate first idea for a DQ Blizzard inspired treat was a little more malevolent, which is perfect because it's evil or something. Maybe just a bit twisted even.
Oh, shit. It's like the
Malamar
fucking
is
Joker.
vaguely cup-shaped. And do you know what else is vaguely cup-shaped?
The Joker.
That's right. A DQ Blizzard. The bell of a squid is mostly empty space with innards attached at the base and loosely connected down the sides. What you're going to do is chop off its head, squish the innards out. Fun fact, a squid's brain is wrapped around its esophagus, which means if it took a large enough bite of something, it could potentially kill the squid. You're then going to flash freeze the bell body for structural integrity, take the guts and tentacles and arms and the beak and toss it into your new shiny kitchen mulcher. We're going to turn that into mincemeat ice cream. Pick whatever mix-ins you want and then mix it into the cup-shaped body. Once thoroughly blended, you know what to do. Flip that bad boy upside down. I assume that squid guts ice cream will immediately slosh out into the most disgusting puddle you've ever had in your kitchen. I hope. Enjoy. Well, that was gross, Mike.
Right, Mike. Thank you so much for writing in. Ben, I've heard that Pokemaniac Chris has sent in a recipe on our Discord.
Truly. Pokemaniac Chris writes, Malamar is frankly a dangerous Pokemon to cook and eat because you don't want to get on its bad side. Malamar are hyper-intelligent, extremely ruthless, and have mind control powers. One day, humanity may find itself in a state of all-out war with this Pokemon, and when that day comes, I'd honestly prefer it if we hadn't put cooking and eating the enemy on the table. That's not to say no one's ever tried it, though. Back in the old days, when Kalos was ruled by kings and master chefs, vied for royal patronage by preparing the most unusual and attention-grabbing dishes imaginable, one of the classic dishes, almost never made since the fall of the monarchy, was Malamar ink pasta. Noodles dyed with Malamar's bioluminescent ink are said to glow softly in many colors, accompanied with some fresh tomato berries, whole grilled squelp and clauncher, fresh herbs, and a sprinkling of go-goat cheese. Oh man,
shit.
hell yeah. This dish is not only delicious, but visually striking. The most skilled chefs of ancient Kalos were capable of treating the ink to control the colors and even patterns it produced. Rumor has it that some could even prepare the ink in such a way that it retained its power and influenced the minds of others, and that these chefs used the secret ability to win preferential treatment from the royals in the cutthroat world of Colossian court politics.
Nice.
You might be tempted to recreate this dish today and perhaps pair it with the subtle, sophisticated flavor of blackberry cucumber LaCroix. But be warned, Malamar is known as the, quote, overturning Pokemon. For more reasons than just its bizarre evolution method. And there's no Colossian monarchy anymore. Draw your own conclusions.
DQ Blizzard.
What a dumb name. The overturning Pokemon. But I do love Pokemon that have like gimmick evolution things that aren't just like, oh, you gave it a thing at a certain time of day or its friendship is high or whatever. But like, you actually have to like do something with it that isn't just leveling it up or giving it an item kind of situation. I think that's fine.
I thought, like, when I saw the overturning part, I thought for sure it was going to be like a judge Pokemon.
Oh.
A judge? Oh,
Bang,
like
bang, bang.
overruled.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be pretty funny too. But they're just like, oh yeah, you evolve it by turning your fucking DS over. So
You got to put it in one of those puffy wigs.
Yes.
And I will say, we didn't really talk about the upside down nature of the Pokemon in terms of our recipes. Someone, let me think. I think Ed wrote in on the Discord saying that talking about Malamar upside down cake, which I think like an upside down like pineapple cake or something like that. Like
Makes sense.
That tracks for sure.
All right, lots of desserts for this week's episode. Interesting. All right, let's pick next week's Pokemon in a segment I like to call Pick-a-mon. Evan, randomly generate a number between 650 and 721, please.
All right. Next week is, in fact, 680.
680. Oh, it's so fucking close. 680 next week is Doublade, which is the sword Pokemon.
Oh no!
Gotta
not
cook
the
with swords.
I mean, we could do like a fun kind of like performance show with it, kind of situation. We're all clever. We're all clever. We can come up with something. All right.
On guard.
Yes. Send in your Doublade recipes next week, and we'll talk about it and have a good time. All right. Let's wrap up the show by doing plugs. Where can we find you and your stuff on the internet? Ben.
You can find me on Tumblr these days. I'm at Ben C. Montoya on Tumblr. Got some writing about podcasts, some music, some creative writing, some just general bullshit. So yeah, come on over.
Excellent. Ian.
You can find me on Instagram at Musician Davis. I do a lot of fun bass covers. I think you'll enjoy. Check it out.
Excellent. Evan.
You can continuously email me at ichoosepod@gmail.com. The other co-hosts of the show seem to read instead of me. Yeah.
Excellent. And you can find me on Twitter at VelocityPrime1, and you can find me on Tumblr at VelocityPrime1. I made my Tumblr first. Then the Twitter came second, and I had to add the 1, and it's the 1's everywhere else but Tumblr. But if you look up Velocity Prime,
you should change your handle to add like no one, like spelled out at the end. One and no one.
Yes, that might be a little confusing, but those are my that's my main socials at the moment. You can also check out my writing about films, television, video games at the-avocado.org. Jeremy Zielik at the-avocado.org. All right, let us wrap up the show. This has been I Choose You, the podcast about cooking and eating Pokemon. You can find us on your favorite podcasting apps, including Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and your podcast catcher of choice. If you like our show, give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify to help us go up the ranks. If you want more I Choose You goodness, may suggest our social media pages, I Choose Pod on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. We're trying to do a little more video content, so keep an eye out for those things. If you want to be a part of the I Choose You community, may I suggest joining the I Choose You Discord. The I Choose You Discord has you can send in recipes, talk about video games, participate in community events, all that business. The I Choose You Discord, links in the episode description.
There's a lot of people playing the new games, even if we're not playing them. So that's a great spot to trade or, talk about all of the gym leaders and other various characters in this generation that people are very excited about.
Oh, excited to say.
Oh, I wonder what that means. Okay.
Your Tumblr's great for that.
Yes.
Lastly,
but not leastly, check out the official I Choose You website, ichooseyou.menu. It's a full episode archive in a merch store designed by one Evan Aubrey. ichooseyou.menu for all your I Choose You goodness. And I've been your host and Alton Brown of the group, Jeremy Zielik.
I've been your friend on the show, Ben Montoya.
Ian Davis, the Adolphus Green of the show.
And Evan Aubrey.
And to all the choosies out there in Radioland, in a while, Totodile.
Yeah, I choose you. Yeah, I choose you. Everybody wants to be a master chef. Everybody wants to show their skill. In the kitchen, everybody wants to cook that clauncher. Finny in at the top of the grill. Each time you fry, gonna cook it just a little bit better. Each taste you try, boy, this froky is nice and tender. It's a whole new world we cook in. It's a whole new place to eat. We're in season 6 with some brand new recipes, 'cause we're still gonna cook them all and make a pun or 2 or 3. It's a whole new world we cook in. It's a whole new place to eat. We're in season 6 with some brand new recipes, 'cause we're still gonna cook them all and make a pun or 2 or 3.